because not all canned pumpkin is made the same. Glorious pumpkin to it. That is talent. I think I saved it, guys. Is that in frame? A little underwhelming. Really just love the aesthetic of it. Take this out of here. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I have a ton of soap making to do. I want to make a pumpkin soap using real pumpkin puree, as well as do a second fall themed soap. I don't really want to make a whole bunch of fall soaps because I don't feel like they sell as well as the Christmas soaps, which I also want to do, but not this month, maybe next month. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be restocking a few soaps that are getting low too, so let's get this whole soap making day going. Before I begin, I wanted to send a quick shout out to Munbin, who sent me their travel charger. This little guy is the smallest charger in the industry, and as someone who owns and charges a lot of devices, I can confirm this charger is the smallest one I have. The Munbin charger uses 140 watts GaN technology and can charge 4 devices at the same time. So here it is, charging my DJI Pocket 3. I'm glad that that works. Now, I noticed that my phone also has this kind of a port, so let's see if it'll charge my phone. And there you go, it does charge my iPhone, which is awesome. I love that it's compatible with Apple products. I really like this little guy, and because it's so small and because it is a travel charger, this is something we can take with us when we're out on the road, if I'm going to be vlogging my adventures. Thank you so much, Munbin, for sending this over. If you guys are interested in having a small travel charger like this as well, there is a link to that down below. When it comes to making pumpkin soap, you definitely want to be using 100% pure pumpkin if you're using canned pumpkin, and make sure that the ingredient, it just says pumpkin. And it's nice that this has no preservatives. It says all natural on there because not all canned pumpkin is made the same. Welcome back to my studio. I'm just about to get my pumpkin soaps started. I have my pumpkin ready right here. And how I am going to be using pumpkin today, there's a few ways you can do it, but the method I chose with today's soaps is I'm going to be adding the pumpkin to my oils. And I'm going to blend them into my oils. And then I'm going to add the lye water in after it. So I'm hoping that things are going to work out. Sometimes soap doesn't cooperate and it gets kind of messy and kind of hectic. We'll see, but let's go ahead and just dive right into it. I'm going to give you that really satisfying overhead view. Let's begin. So here are the oils. What I'm going to do is add some of this glorious pumpkin to it. And I replaced a part of my water amount with the pumpkin, because the pumpkin has some water content in there, so we want to account for that when calculating the lye. So now that we have that pumpkin in there, I'm just going to blend it to make sure we have a completely dispersed pumpkin. Now I'm going to take my lye water, which has completely cooled down. I like to soap to just below 100 degrees Fahrenheit and cooler. I'm just gonna add first the pumpkin puree with oils to my lye water. Now I'm gonna add my soft oils. Set aside, because I'm actually making 2 loaves of this. I'm gonna go ahead and blend this all together till I get a light trace. Oh, I almost forgot my clay. Let's add that. Okay. Perfect. So I'm just going to split off half of this batter. Or about half. I'm just guesstimating here. That's about half. I'm gonna clean up as I go and bring in my mold over here. Before I pour, I need to add my colors. So since this is going to be a pumpkin soap, I'm going to be using some orange mica. And my fragrance oils have a ton of vanilla in it, so it's definitely going to brown and discolor. That's okay. I haven't found that prevents people from buying these pumpkin soaps. And then I'm going to add half of my fragrance oil. And this is a blend that has scent notes of pumpkin in it. What else is in here? There's gonna be some clove, some cinnamon, some cardamom. So I'm just gonna put half in there. And we're gonna stick blend to a pretty light trace. And I'm gonna work pretty fast here because with the pumpkin, it has sugars in it that cause things to move a little fast. I mean, although this is actually moving pretty good for me right now. I always get tricked into a false sense of security with fragrance oil sometimes, so actually this seems really liquid, I don't know. That fragrance oil smells fantastic. Oh my gosh, that blend. And I used a blend of a few different oils. They all smell so good. Great, put that aside. Now I want to blend the rest of my stuff and add the rest of that fragrance oil blend into the rest of my soap. Oh, that smells so nice. Kale came down to the studio a little earlier to ask me a few questions, and he loves pumpkin scented anything. He's a big fan of pumpkin beer, pumpkin pie. All right, let's fill. This is actually moving really nicely. This is behaving so perfectly. I was expecting it to not be so nice, but this is fabulous. Thank goodness. All right, next let's do the white. Let's do, yeah, this one as the white, smaller one. And yes, sometimes I make up my designs as we go, whatever is calling to me at the moment. And as you can see, this palette is very much fall coated. All right, first let's go with the white. Oh, see, it's thickening up. Actually, it's not too bad. This is actually okay. This is workable still. This is not panic mode yet, like it was with my coconut soap. Beautiful. Oh, that looks so nice. I'll do my swirlies. I'm actually doing this all left-handed because I have my phone set up on the other side there, and I'm trying to prevent the shadow from disrupting things. So yeah, doing things left-handed. That is talent. If you notice, these colors are very much brown-ish, like they're all different shades of tan, so that when the soap does start to discolor, it's not going to be too disruptive to the design. You know what I mean? Actually, I think let's do the dark first. But look how beautiful just that is. Isn't that gorgeous? I keep looking over to my phone thinking, yes, that looks lovely. I post my soap making shorts on Instagram, and I was experiencing earlier on in the year really great numbers, and I've been doing the same content, and I've fallen out of Instagram's good graces. The algorithm gods don't like me anymore. And you know what, guys? I'm fine with that. I'm not here to make viral content. I'm here to find the people who vibe with the products that I make and who I am as a person. And when you become viral, oftentimes it's to the completely wrong crowd. So here is the gold color. Oh, that's so pretty. Love that. Okay. I need to make sure I have enough soap to, let me just do a swirly for a little mini swirl. So it's starting to solidify, but not like a crazy amount. It's just really nice. This is a really good pace. I was panicking before, but I've since calmed down. All right, so next I'm just going to do my texturing. I don't think this will be too disruptive to the lighting. Oh, look how pretty that is. It is a shame with warm vanilla-y scents that it causes soap to discolor, because This is so pretty. It's not gonna stay this way. This is so sad. We put in our white color right along the top. And this I have to do with my right hand. Yep, I'm gonna have to put that shadow on there. Guys, I've been trying to figure out lighting for years. If you are making social media content and you're discouraged about your lighting, that was me for up until recently. And I think I'm just starting to figure it out. Just starting to figure it out. And I've had feedback from other creators that have said, oh, your lighting's great, but I would compare it to other videos, and I just did not see. I knew I could improve on the brightness, on the clarity of things, so I kept trying new things, and I think I'm getting there. I think I'm finally starting to see good results. Add my swirls on top, and this is what makes the soap. So what gives it that little bit of oomph. Perfect. Oh, it smells so good too. Oh my gosh. All right, perfect. All right, and that is the first soap. I'm gonna do the same exact one, which I will do off camera, but that's pretty much the idea. And when I come back, I'll be doing the next soap that I have planned, so. Okay, so the second round of pumpkin soap is actually starting to set up on me super fast, so this is kind of a mystery to me actually. So I'm kind of in panic mode right now, trying to get everything into the mold. Wow, it's like really setting up. Super fast. I see the light at the end of the tunnel of this. Wow, this set up on me pretty good. This was a sneak attack. I hate when soap sneak attacks you. You get lulled into that super false sense of security. And it's worse when you make one version of the soap and that version, the first go at it is like fine, and then you try it for the second time and it's a completely different experience. Oh man. Panic at the Disco. Panic in the Soap Studio. I need to make a new song for that. Ooh-wee, okay. Right, we're almost in the clear. I think I saved it, guys. I think my quick instincts and my skills did it. Oh, nice. This one won't have as nice swirls as the first pumpkin soap loaf. That's okay. We're still good. We're still good. So here's the final soap. This is going to be an orange clove scented soap, which I love. I love the scent blend. I blend essential oils of orange and clove, obviously, and I mix that with some fragrance oil, and I do that to anchor that orange scent. Otherwise, the orange essential oil will start to fade pretty fast in cold process soap. So let's go ahead and pour this one. This is a favorite of mine. I already said that a bunch of times, but I'm getting tired. I might not be saying the right things right now. I'm not going to add any color into this because the fragrance oil is quite orange and it will naturally color the soap a yellow color, yellow orangey color. And there's some clove in here, so anticipate it to move quite fast. Oh, that scent is amazing. Here we go. This is one of those scents that you can probably sell all year round because it's that good. And that's kind of what I did with these fall scents. If it doesn't sell out by the time Christmas rolls around, or even by the time New Year's Eve rolls around, they'll still be, I don't know, not irrelevant. I'll still be able to sell them because I don't plan on naming them like Autumn Harvest or, you know, like a fall themed name. It's gonna be pretty generic. And that's what I recommend to you guys too, because it might be, you don't want to get stuck with a whole bunch of autumn harvest soaps when you're ringing in 2025, if you know what I mean. Oh, that smells so good. I love it. For the swirls, I'm using a more natural color palette. I'm using annatto seed powder. I'm using alkanet root powder and cocoa powder. It's starting to set up on me again. Annatto seed is this really bright orange, and it actually stays pretty orange in soap. So if you want a natural orange colorant, annatto seed powder is where it's at. Alkanet root powder can be gray to purple depending on how much you use, but it's still really pretty. And cocoa powder is a nice brown. Like it's a nice true brown. First layer. Oh gosh. I'm trying not to have another mishap like with I forget which soap it was, or like completely miss the sides. I think it was my activated charcoal soap. It was a dark soap, I remember that. I hate when that happens. So annoying. Break through that first layer. Get my colors in there. Sometimes you gotta get rough with soap. You gotta show it who's boss, you know? Don't submit to your soap. Don't show your soap fear. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Get in there, soap. Look at these gorgeous earthy colors. If you do a little shimmy, it gets the soap even-ish. But always make sure that that your camera is centered again. There have been a few times where I've shimmied the soap and then I completely shimmied it off frame, which is heartbreaking when you look back on the footage and you're like, oh man, oh no. It's so pretty. This palette, nice and muted. I like the speckles too when you add the botanicals, just like in powder form, to the soap. I'm gonna add my chonky tops. And this setting up here is definitely the clove. So if you're using clove essential oil, there's two things you gotta remember. Don't use a lot of it because it actually has a pretty small usage rate. If you were to enter it in EOCalc, the amount is not a lot. So be sparing with it, and you don't even need a lot. Like a small amount will give you that scent that you're looking for, that's warm, spicy scent. And the second thing is that it makes soap move. It makes soap move very, very quick. So be prepared for that. Not the best swirls, but you know, I'll take it. I'll take it. Orange clove soap in the mold. Woo. Hey guys, it's been a few days now and I'm ready to cut into these fall soaps. It was amazing walking into the studio and smelling the warmth and the spice, and I just can't wait to cut into these to show you what they look like on the inside. I think to begin, I want to cut into the pumpkin soaps first and then move to the other ones. So let's get them out of the molds and start that. So this weekend we had our nephews over and that was a real treat because the lake makes it such a fun place for them to come visit, and we had a really, really good time. So here is the first pumpkin soap loaf, and look how beautiful this looks. It actually reminds me a lot of the pumpkin loaf bread that I made this weekend for my nephews, which is so good, by the way. If you've never made pumpkin bread, you should definitely give it a shot. It was delicious. And yes, I did make that pumpkin bread with the leftover pumpkin puree that I didn't use in the soap. Beautiful. And here's what that cut looks like. And oh my gosh, that looks so beautiful. I love the swirls. See how it's a light orange on the inside and then it's kind of darker on the outside? That's the vanilla working. The whole soap is gonna be this color eventually. So let's appreciate now, while it lasts, how pretty this looks, because it's not gonna stay this way. So sad. This is the pumpkin soap version that I was able to get some swirls in, and when I tried to make this again, the soap batter thickened up a lot faster, and I don't know if that was a result of the batter having cooled a little bit, and it made that much of a difference, because I know for a fact that the oils and the lye were all the same amount. It's the same fragrance oil, so the only differing factor was the temperature. So the boys spent the night, which is really exciting because that was the night of a really big thunderstorm, and that was really cool to see from our house. We played some Nintendo Switch Mario Party, and then we also did some racing. It was honestly just a blast. And I can't wait till the boys come to visit again, and also my nieces. I have a lot of nieces and nephews. It's so much fun, especially since Kayla and I don't have kids of our own. We love opening our home up to our nieces and nephews and family members. Wow, I really love how the swirls came out. And even with the darker soap, or the soap getting darker, I think the swirls will still stand out, but we'll see over time. Yeah, there we go. This is the pumpkin soap version with the swirls. And now I'm gonna cut into the pumpkin soap that set up on me a little quickly. A little quicker than I wanted it to. Pumpkin soap number 2. Is that in frame? Oh, look how beautiful that gold mica on top looks. So you can see in the soap that set up a little bit faster, the soap that set up a little bit faster than I wanted it to, I could not get that titanium dioxide into the soap as quickly as I would like, so it actually didn't even show up at all. Let's compare this to this. So you can see the white swirls, and in this soap it's like non-existent. Oh, we got some white swirl coming through here on the sky. We've still got some good swirls here actually. I will say that this pumpkin soap is my favorite pumpkin soap I've made yet. I think I'm getting better year after year, and I can't believe I made it with real pumpkin puree. That's amazing. My memory is not the greatest, so I might have made a pumpkin puree soap. I just don't remember it. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. I like that swirl. And then after we were done at our house, we dropped them off at the Blueberry Bash, which is a fun celebration that happens on Steamboat Island, where my in-laws live. And there was a silent auction there. And I saw the soaps of a fellow Olympia soaper, Ollie Suds, I hope I'm saying that right. And she was auctioning off some beautiful unscented goat's milk soaps. They looked amazing. It was just really neat to see that. Again, it would be really nice to get involved in the community and do things like that. I'm just really slow going about doing it. Oh, look at the tops on these guys. Love them. Okay, so those were my pumpkin soaps. Let's move on to the other soaps. So here's the apple soap, and this one smells incredible. I think this might be my favorite out of all the soaps that I made for my fall soap launch. It's really pretty smelling because I'm a sucker for apple. The thing I love about Winston and Walter molds is how easily you can pop them out after making your soap. It's just seamless. And here is that bar. For this blend, I used fragrance oils that also discolor, and you can see that's happening on the side of the soap here, but that's okay. Here's a closer look at that top. Okay, so I'm gonna lay it down on my soap cutter like so. It's definitely a lot tougher when you wait a couple days. Oh! And the soap colors didn't turn out as vibrant as I was hoping. They kind of all muddy together a little bit. Yeah, they kind of muddle together like apple cider. The smell is fantastic though. It's really subtle. I probably could have used a lot more mica. This cut, I'm kind of disappointed in, not gonna lie. A little underwhelming. And I think once the brownness of the oxidization, of the discoloration, once that's done, it's gonna really just not be a great design at all, which is unfortunate. I still really love the scent notes in this soap, even if the colors don't fully reflect that. Maybe I should have used a brighter yellow instead of gold. That would have popped way more. And I was really light with the red oxide because I was super nervous about it being too much. You gotta really be careful with oxides. So I'll probably have a heavier hand next time I try a red swirl. Yeah, because this doesn't pack as big of a punch as I was hoping for. Now that I've gotten over the disappointment of that soap, I'm really excited about cutting into this one. This is my orange clove soap, and I really like the final colors of these guys. This is not going to discolor like the other soaps, which is nice because I just used a blend that doesn't have any vanilla in it, and the scent blend is so good. It's a blend of orange and cloves and cinnamon. It's wonderful. Oh, I can inhale this all day. Oh, that's so pretty. Love that. Oh, that's nice. I think this one will sell well. And what's cool about this bar is that these are all natural colorants. We have that alkanet root powder, we have the annatto seed powder, that's the orange, and then that light gray is actually cocoa powder. So you can achieve a soft gray with cocoa powder if you use just a little bit. Okay, so for sure, out of all of them, this is my favorite soap that I've made. And this soap was setting up on me a little bit, so it's nice to see that the swirls made it to the lower level, although some not so much. You can tell this is where a spoon came in and carved a piece of that white soap out so that I could get the colors in there. And here is a soap bar where you can't really see it on this side, but you can on this side. Oh, that clove. The clove and orange together is such a great combo. And this is my favorite bar. The last one usually is. It's so interesting. So here are all of the soaps cut, and honestly, I'm a little disappointed in the apple one. I don't really love how muddied these colors look. Like, come on, so sad. And it's gonna continue to discolor over time, and eventually it's all gonna be this like brown color on the edge. Not a big fan of that. Still smells good, but what can you do? You can't love everything that you create, right? But I am very pleasantly surprised at how well the pumpkin soaps turned out, and love, love, love how the orange clove soaps turned out. Now, I have a ton of dishes to wash because when the boys came, I didn't even wash my soaping dishes. So there's a huge pile over there that I won't show you. It's a lot. So I'm gonna spend some time cleaning up the studio. I'm gonna put these away so that they can begin curing, and I'll see you guys in the next clip. It is a cloudy, grizzly, chilly day today, and I know I've been talking about fall coming, but it actually feels like fall is here. If you hear some noises, those are my doggies playing with their toys. But whenever the weather gets like this is prime candle making weather. This is the time where I feel like I have to make a candle, and I think with it being almost fall around the corner and it being pretty much pumpkin season, I have to make a pumpkin spice candle. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm just going to be making a basic soy candle. So in my pouring pitcher, I have some soy wax that I need to melt down completely to at least 180 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to do that using a double boiler. For my vessels, I'm using these straight-sided glass jars from Mont Rouge, Canada, and I love the slightly green tint of these jars. I think they're really on brand with my company, and I really, really just love the aesthetic of it. Mont Rouge, Canada also sent these same jars in this frosted white color, which is also a gorgeous choice. But for the fall and pumpkin vibes, I think this color is absolutely perfect. And to help center my wick, I'm also using these wick centerers, also from Mont Rouge, Canada, and these are so handy because you can adjust them to however wide your vessel is. So in the case of these ones, I pushed these spacers to about the 3-inch mark, and that will allow me to center my wick and have this wick centerer hug the edge of my jar really snugly so that the center of my wick does not move. So I can also just tuck that into the pinched area of the hole, and that will keep my wick in place and in center perfectly. One thing you might consider though, because these wick centers are so big, what you can do, and this is what I do all the time, is to do this after the candle has been poured, which means there's less mess. I don't have to clean the wick centerer, and I can get all the wax into the jar without having to worry about getting it all over my wick centerer. So that's what I'm gonna do actually. So you can see all of our wax has melted. Now all I have to do is to add the fragrance oil to my melted wax. And here's a scent blend that I made myself from a few different fragrances, but it has scent notes of pumpkin and clove and cinnamon and cake. It's a delicious, perfect fall scent. I'm just gonna add this to my wax. And now I'm just gonna stir for 2 minutes. Not only does stirring the wax help the fragrance oil bind with the wax, but it also allows the wax to cool down significantly so that when I pour it into my vessel, it's not going to, or I mean it still will, but it won't be, it'll help the wax not stick to the sides as much. The cooler you can pour your wax, the less problems you'll have with the candle. I find that a lot of the issues that people get with candle making is from the fact that the wax is way too hot when they pour it. You guys like my little setup? I finally invested in a background for my making and for my social media posts. I really want to up my game when it comes to creating a vibe when I post my social media. Instead of just focusing on showing how I make the product, I also want to sell the brand itself. So that's what all this is. Okay, so I have stirred for about 2 minutes. Now I'm going to pour my wax into my vessel. Now that I've poured my wax, I'm going to put my wick centerer in place. So I'm just going to leave this alone and let it cool down, and I'll come back once the candle has solidified and we can move on to the next steps. It is another rainy, drizzly, cold day, but the good news is my candle is completely solidified. If I take this out of here, see that the center did an awesome job keeping the wick in place in the middle, and also the surface of this candle looks pretty darn smooth, and the smell is fantastic. I love this so much. Thinking of calling this candle Pumpkin Patch. And I do want to visit the pumpkin patch at some point. Maybe this weekend, maybe next weekend, I'm not sure. I love pumpkin patches. I love fall. And this candle is totally putting me in the mood for that. But look at the color of this too. I just love that olive green tone. The only thing left to do with this candle is to trim the wick, stick a label on here, and light it. So here is the final result, and I think this looks so beautiful. It's such a perfect fall time candle, and I really love the results. If you want to make a fall time candle just like this, or even the pumpkin soap that I made earlier as well, you can find both recipes or instructions on my Patreon, which is linked down below. And on there, you're not just going to find the recipes and steps for these projects, but also over 100 skincare, bath bomb, soap, DIY projects. That's all on there. So if you would like to check it out, that is linked down below. And speaking of my Patreon, thank you to everyone who chooses to support me on there. Your support and generosity mean the world to me. And it's because of you guys that I'm able to create these videos. And honestly, it's the reason why I enjoy doing this as well. It's you guys. So thank you so, so much. But that is the video for today. If you liked what you saw, then please don't hesitate to leave a thumbs up or even comment down below. And I really hope that I see you in that next video. And until that next video, keep smiling, keep being awesome, and keep making beautiful things like pumpkin patch candles. Bye, guys.